we're going to hear will be the evaluator for the table topic. And to do that, we're going to ask Andrew.
Hello, Toastmasters. Weren't you all worried he was going to pick on you? Bijan came up with, I think, perhaps the most challenging topics I have heard in my 10 years. There were things you thought you'd all heard before, you know, children ask you silly questions. And I thought, oh, this is going to be easy. And the only one I recognised and thought I could answer was one that we didn't get given. Anyway, we started with Jill. Is water wet? And he did a very, oh, why is water wet? It didn't matter what the question was. It was something that nobody could answer, unless they were a physics expert. What Bijan did, which was very good, and which everybody should do, he started with an experienced speaker, and he explained what he was doing, and then he went on and gave all the newcomers a chance to speak. Absolutely perfectly done. So anyway, along came Jill, very experienced, but even she was published by now. However, being Jill, being experienced, she managed to launch into it. She didn't do what I would have done. What she did was, she thought, it's a nonsensical question, I'm going to give a nonsensical answer. And so she coped very well. My only recommendation for Jill was, as she walked off, she sort of made a face at the man sitting to say, you shouldn't have done that. May I recommend, you don't make a face at the person asking the question. You look at the audience and you say, oh. And let them share in the fun of your emotion. After Jill had started off, and we were all starting to get a bit worried at this point, we then went on to Pritesh. Now, I think there's only one recommendation I could make to the person giving the questions. What you're supposed to do is make everybody wonder what they would say. So we should have had the question, and then everyone thinking, oh my God, I hope it's not going to be me, and then said, Pritesh, when he's already had a chance to think about it, yeah, I can't do this, thank God it's not going to be me. Anyway, so the question was, why is the sky blue? I thought we were going to go into a long thing about, well, there's a rainbow, and then you think, oh my God, have I got this right? That was what I was thinking. Came up with something very good. Well, in Harrow, it's grey. Great thing to do. Challenge the question. Of course, the question is nonsensical. The sky isn't blue. So that's a way of getting out of a question you can't answer. So he got laughter at the beginning. He disagreed with the question. He then went with his thoughts. What can I say about a blue sky? We've had a great summer. You talk around the subject and keep on going and going and going until you can sit down. And then he said, yes, I shall sit down and Google it. Great. Next we went on to Daniel. Why is it banned to say the F word? Ah. Now, this was one I liked very much because he then related to a time when he had been asked, had that challenge in his own family. And we learnt a bit about him and his own family and how many children he had and how he dealt with it, which I thought was very clever. And I almost saw him demonstrating it on stage with the kid running and him chasing the kid, and that was really a bit of fun. So that was a very great answer, actually relating it to children. After that, we went on to the next person, who was Adam. Why does my friend have two dads? I thought this was two gay dads. So I was planning a different answer. So then you got instead of thinking, oh, some kids are just unlucky, we go on to some mothers are just lucky. So this is always a very good thing to do. Instead of looking at life as negative, look at life as being positive. Some kids are lucky, some mothers are lucky, and so on. And then he came to the answer I would have said, which was, why don't you go and ask your friend? Which is a way of always, you don't answer the question, you try and get someone else to answer. Then lastly we came on to Malcolm. Why did God let my kitten die? This is a serious question where you have an opportunity to be the only person who pontificates about life, or you can try and find some humour in the situation. Well, if it would be my kitten, I'd let it die too, or just add them some stupid answer that make a joke out of it. What Malcolm did was he repeated the question, playing for time. He commented on God. He had a few ums. Actually, I was the only person who had ums, so remember not to do the ums, because it's rather a challenging question. And then he managed to pick on all the different religions, if you believe in a God, if you believe in reincarnation, so involved all different members of the audience with how they would answer it. So a great opportunity, and then the best thing was we then had instead of thinking, oh, there were 10 questions and 5 of them I'd answered, he told us the others. So he'd made use of all those questions, and we all had a chance to go off and thinking, oh my God, this was a really challenging I've got to plan answers to all these. So a wonderful session, and very well done to Jill and all the newcomers who are.